market very strong. Really strong jobs number, but no wage inflation. So I think people were waiting to see if there was wage inflation. First ticks were up. I did short it a little bit into 276, covered it. The play really is to look for the long. If we were as fortunate enough to come down to the mid 274s, I think that would be so another nail in the coffin of a retest of the lows. Here was the last time we broke out. We got up there, sold off hard to 274. The next day we broke through, and then we had kind of a little panic and right back up above 270. The more time we spend above 270, the more likely we are to get back to where we failed here, 278 to 280. And we're real close. We're basically 1% away now, almost 1.5% from the top here.
Same thing with like 209. At least that stock has 1 million shares, and we have like 300,000 available to work.
You can see 276 when we came off from the highs down to 274. We did bounce up to 276. Did 274 again, got almost to 276, and then they crushed it right at the end of the day. This is kind of the day where it looked like, oh, we test 274, and things might be okay. We bought here at 274, and then this might have been the day I went to the airport to Florida, and then at the end of the day, we just completely ripped right through. So this is an important level for the open. You kind of see, even at 275, I'd be looking to see if we support it here. But this is the spot right here. Something like that. On IWM, so IWM, we talked about yesterday, has been outperforming the SPYs, relative strength. So about a buck away. 58.15 to 58.40 resistance.
Akamai did announce their shareholder initiatives back yesterday as well.
So when we opened yesterday, after the quick pop, 740, 57.40 dropped, I guess, to the area we highlighted as potential support twice, 55, 50s. I don't see much of a trade there, other than like looking to see if it comes into 57, does it actually support at 57? All right, FNSR. So FNSR had not good numbers and they guided down. I think the play was to be shorted at least till the 17s. Now we've been flirting with the 17s in the pre-market. This was strange. It had this weird spike back up, and I was actually sitting here and I saw them spray it here. Maybe it was only a few thousand shares, but before you knew it, it was right back down at 19. So you can really short it up here, but it was a short anywhere close to 1950. You can see now it's already come off to 18, so. What I was starting to think was, oh, maybe it's just maybe they were thinking they were going to give bad guidance because it's already off from like $35. I couldn't really understand why it wasn't like immediately down at 18, 17 and a half. So this is the long-term support right here, mid-17s to 17. If we go back to, what is this, March 2017, so 4 quarters ago, it gapped down from 34 to below 30, and then since then you can see it came and failed, gapped up on earnings here, and was sold aggressively right back down. I guess this is part of the bottoming process, but
I don't have any more there.
so first thing I would do is if it goes below 18 on the open down to like 1750, I would fade it. And then I'd actually want to see what happens when it pops back up to 18. If it gets above 18, starts holding, you can see this was the bottom in the after hours, 18 and a half a few times. And that's when I would look to see if it fails for real. If this is part of the bottoming process and the bad guidance isn't meaningful, you'll see it quickly probably get above 18 and a half and hold above 18 and a half. Next one is big. Big lowered guidance 10%. It's down 10%. It's very messy here between 51 and 47. It's offered at 48.40 right now. I don't know if this is real. If we go back to the fall, you can kind of get a pretty good picture here. So in the fall, between like 48, well, it is right now in the pre-market, 48.30-ish. And 47.30-ish, some buyers to step in. Let's see. Okay, so it did get down to 47.50 in the pre-market. That, oh man. So it already had $1.50 bounce from there. They're trying to hold a little bit higher now. Gonna have a bigger bounce. What did I put for resistance? 51. This would be a bigger bounce area. Now yesterday we had Kroger, right? That had the good bounce, and then it bought down there on the open and went down another $1 and change. So I still will look for buyers to step in here though at 47, between 47.30 and 47.50. It's already done 40% of its daily volume, so there's people willing to buy it as it's held a little bit higher. So flush through the pre-market low and then gets back above 48. You definitely could play for a bounce up to here. They're in the conference call right now. I guess it's going okay. Not through the pre-market low. And then X, they finally did the tariff thing yesterday. And so I think that's probably why it's gapping up. Let's look at the 30-minute. So since initially that was announced, it had popped up to 46 and failed there, came off a few dollars, came back up again to 46, came off a few dollars, kept on being bought in the mid 43s, 43 and a half. Actually, probably like 5 out of 7 days. If you're watching the stock closely, it's hard not to notice it was being bought at 43 and a half, even yesterday. Yeah, it spiked down there once yesterday. So it looks like it's setting up to test the high. Right on the open, if you could get a flush down below 45 to here, wait for move to here. If it ends up not doing that and then just consolidates above 46, like after the open, and it's tight and it breaks to the upside, I play along in that scenario as well. Kroger closed right below 23 yesterday, so let's take a quick look. So in the pre-market, I just mentioned this, I did a bounce from 24 back up to 25 and change. Right on the open, had a hard drive down through that. Let's zoom in and take a little bit of a look at it. So yeah, had a little bit of a bounce back to 2350, failed. And then it started to form a little bit of a, if you look on the daily, 2285 is the support from when it gapped up a few quarters ago. And it did hold that and had a pretty good bounce. Didn't quite get back to 2350. Got to 2340. I knew that because I was off the desk and got a sale because I had a script to sell some there. Right at the end of the day, came back into the low, bought a little bit. Figuring some people would make some positive comments today. The market gapping up. It's set up to come back up and test this right on the open. Doesn't mean it can't do that and come right back down and do a retest of yesterday's low. If it takes out yesterday's low, I have an alert at 2255. See if it holds 2255. Can't be that constructive on the stock though, unless it starts to hold above 2350. ESRX. So ESRX was 88, I think, in the pre-market yesterday. Yeah, that's where it failed. Came off. Got through 85. We had 82 as a support, so I definitely played it. See if it would bounce off of 82. It didn't. It went through. It got back above it and then failed. Then came off to 80. It's a pretty steep downtrend. At this 80 level, if you look at it in the daily, even if there weren't involved in a merger, it's a level where people had bought in the past. Now, there had been deal talks, other companies and deal talks, so that probably was part of this big move here. So you can see it was the high when it had come off back down to $70, spiked back up to 80. So this 80 is pretty big. So I'd be watching it to see if it's consolidating above or below, basically, in the first hour to get a sense of direction. I did see a CI was bouncing a little bit in the pre-market. I'm not sure if that held up. Quick look at that. So yeah, 72 support yesterday at the end of the day, and it's about $2 above that. What would really catch my attention is this 75. It actually got up here and then came back, made a higher low, and then got above like 75 and a half. Actually, it's 76. That came off from, there's a lot of room to work with, right? It came off from the mid 180s. So you can be patient on this one. But if CI starts to show some strength above 176, you can look for a larger bounce. You could trade CI, or ESRX. That's it. Let's check in with the SPY. So they're right back to 276. Hopefully we'll get a flush on the open. Obviously the fact that it was such a shallow pullback and we're already at 276 again doesn't bode that well. It was about an 80-cent pullback. So as long as it's holding above 275.50, buyers firmly in control.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.